penalty, Righty, that was originally given on field, but then VAR saw it overturned. Did you think that this was the correct decision?
You know what, Kels, the margins we're dealing with, and we're dealing in the minutiae of like fouls and touches. And when you look at this, obviously right now it looks like, oh, that's a penalty straight off the bat. But then what we see is that we see him get a little touch on the ball. But what they should show is the contact on the knee first. And I'm talking about dealing with the margins. Now, there it is there, right? And then, you know, we're dealing with, like, when you look at this ball, look at the margins of where he touched the ball. It's the same.
Yeah.
So how can it not be a penalty for the touch on the knee, but it can be not be given for that minuscule touch on the ball? I'm confused with it now.
I guess the thing with this, though, is it a clear and obvious error as well?
Well, he's had to kick through Saka to get the ball because Saka's in full flow motion, and that knock on his knee, however slight it is, knocks him off balance enough, and then he wins the ball. So I always thought if you kick through a player to get the ball, then it's a foul. So, but unfortunately, again,
I don't agree with the touch, how light the touch is, because that's what they're giving penalties for. Like, he's not giving that penalty for. Like, OK, he's touched his knee there, so that's a touch.
Yeah.
Right, that's thrown him off balance. And then look at the touch on the ball.
Yeah.
Can that touch, even the slightest of touch that we're seeing there, that will have thrown him off balance?
Well, the thing about it is, it's not even a case of that. It's as he touched the man before the ball, because Saka's gone over. And that's what we're talking about. People can say, well, is it enough of a touch? It's a touch. Just like it's not a penalty because of the minute touch he's had on the ball.
Yeah, I think as well with Saka as well in his body position, the way he's going away, his next touch is a shot. So obviously the contact knee to knee, however slight it is, knocks him off balance enough for him not to get the shot off. So it's one of them where I don't quite understand the rules, but if we're going by the margin we've seen in other games, that's a penalty.
Yeah. What's your take on it? And are we seeing a clear and obvious error here?
I mean, when I first see it, I said penalty.
That was full speed. So we slow it
before
down
I even see the replay. Yeah, and again, I think from this angle here, it's a little bit inconclusive. Even when you slow it down, you're probably thinking, well, has he got the ball there? Did he get the player first?
I think we've seen enough angles to say that there is contact, but this is the key thing. If we can freeze it, Jamie, before the contact.
Take it back a little bit there.
Because this is what Bukayo Saka was saying to us, that he felt knee on knee before the touch on the ball.
So, yeah, he's right. Kevin's right knee just gets Bukayo. He definitely gets a touch of the ball, Kevin. We agree with that. But is it a foul beforehand, Steve?
I was surprised that it wasn't kept as given, because where VAR's gone so far and where football's gone, it's been so clinical. It's been very much black or white, no grey areas. We can clearly see here there is contact knee on knee on the player before Kevin then gets to the ball. And it's not even sort of... I know we're talking split seconds, but for me, it is so... Not from this angle, but from the other angle, it is clear that there is contact with the player before the ball. In my opinion, it should have been a penalty.
What do you think, James? Should they have stuck with the on-field decision?
If we take it the other way, it doesn't, and the referee doesn't give it, VAR would have looked at it, but I don't think they would have given it. I think they would have said he just gets enough of a touch. But like Steve says, is it enough to intervene? Is it a clear and obvious error? No, I don't think so. And that's where the disappointment will be for Bukayo. And also as a player, and you can see how he plays. He's a incredible young man. He laughed, he bristled when I asked a question about was it a foul. He definitely felt that contact first with his knee onto the thigh. Kevin made a bad decision to even try and make that challenge when it's in the box. But I think, I agree with Steve, but if it had been the other way round, it wouldn't have been given.
Fulham, before that, West Ham, Newcastle. Before the match, we were talking about these important wins against so-called bogey teams. What does it say about the process, the maturing process of this team?
Yeah, and learning from that side. At the end, you have to put it, and winning or drawing a game, sometimes it goes through very, very small details that today we managed better than we did a year ago, but we need to continue. It's very early.
Yeah, it's very early, and finally, still October, but the fans were obviously exciting, chanting, we're top of the league. This very time last year, you guys dropped some important points between October and November, so how important is it, even if it's still October, to hold on to that lead?
3 weeks ago, we went to Newcastle. If we lose in Newcastle, the Premier League is over. So that's the narrative, that's the demands in this league, so try your best and win as many football matches as you can. There's no secret to that.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Talk us about that set piece. Obviously, corners are a huge part for you. After 8 games last season, you had 3 goals from corners. This year, you've already got 7. Great delivery from you. I know you've obviously helped when you've got Gabriel attacking it.
Yeah, it helps. It helps. We've got some big guys in the box, and you know, at the start of the game, I took some rubbish corners. You know, so I was quite disappointed, but you know, I kept going, and yeah, I think this is the 4th one, and yeah, I put it in, and you know, it was a nice delivery. Gabriel got the touch, and obviously Leo got the goal, so I'm very happy with that. Sorry?
Why do you think you were taking rubbish corners, in your words?
Did you not see them?
But I'm guessing you practiced this skill over and over to land it in that right spot.
Yeah, it's something we work on a lot. It's quite clear, you know, we're quite good at it. So yeah, we have high standards for ourselves, and like I said, I was happy with the ones in the end, which helped us get the goal.
And don't get me wrong, of course, they've got players that can play on that side. They've got one area. Max Dowman's certainly one for the future, as we all know. But he is the man. He's the man. And that's why I talked about being a leader today, because he's not your conventional. When we go back to the likes of Tony Adams as a captain at that football club, but he took the game by the scruff of the neck today. When the team was struggling, they didn't quite have that flow, and he grew into the game. And this little battle with Sessegnon was really interesting. And as the game went on, he just started to win it. Some lovely bits of play. Obviously, that one could have gone either way. A little bit of skill. This touch here, look. And then all of a sudden he's got 2 men round him. They don't know what to do with him, and it's so difficult. This little bit of play here, he plays a great 1-2 there with Trossard. Lovely little nutmeg. And then gets his shot away. He was fabulous today. And he said it took a while for him to get going.
It's a sign of maturity, I think, from him as well, and his experience, where the first, opening 20, 25, 30 minutes, he wasn't really in the game. Fulham doubled up. And, you know, a ground where they've probably been not successful in previous seasons, it's easy to probably go, oh, it's not my day today. Whereas, no, he's taking the responsibility, he's taking it on his shoulders to go, listen, when I get a chance, if I get half a chance to try and have a strike or a set piece, I'm going to make sure I do it with quality and to the best of my ability.
Absolutely. He's had some really tough games against Anthony Robertson previously, who seems to have his number a bit. Obviously, a different proposition today with Sessegnon, but it was a really good battle. But I feel if they can keep him fit, that's going to be a massive key for them. Obviously, there's certain other players, like, you know, you look at Saliba, Gabriel, partnerships in that team. Odegaard, they've shown today they can get by without him. But Saka just feels... You can see Gabriel here, number 6. They've got Sessegnon and Harry Wilson as what you would call blockers. It's probably the worst job you've got. It's an absolute nightmare because it's a complete mismatch. You've got heavyweight against 2 lightweights in boxing. They cannot stop him. Although in theory you're saying, and you might do all the set pieces you can, block him as much as you can, stop him with all your will.
You can't hold him now.
Impossible. You know, we saw a penalty today, which people will probably see more later on the Sky Sports app, in the Crystal Palace Bournemouth game, where someone gets caught for holding. You're just trying to slow him up. But how do you stop a 6'4" man mountain who wants to attack the ball?
There? Could you not actually stand together and create some sort of barrier?
Run through you. Yes, you can, but he will run through you. And he has got, as much as his delivery is good, and as much as you've got a great set-piece coach, he is unbelievable at attacking the ball. One of the best in world football, isn't he, Steve?
Yeah, he is. And I think, and what sums up literally is that Fulham have done, they've sacrificed 2 on 1. I mean, I think just at your picture, Declan Rice is free on the edge of the box. So if anything goes over, they're willing to let that go over. But what you'll see when this ball comes in is you'll see a player that has got one thought in his mind, more so than all of these Fulham players, is that I am going to get my head on this ball. I am going to get first contact. Now, I agree. I agree. I still think Sessegnon or Harry Wilson can slow him down, get more body contact, but you're talking about a distance from there to there without...
Yeah, I hear you. I just think it's impossible. Just watch as it comes in. Look, he just wants it. He's hungry. He's starving to get on the end of this ball. Look, and he just runs and gets out, get out of the way. And then he's got to run, and everybody else is doing a standing start. And then the smallest player on the pitch then wins it. Now, I'm going to just highlight a bit here as well, because I just, hopefully, can you see there's the goal scorer there. He's just nipped in between. He's the furthest Arsenal player. You've got Jimenez, who's the back player. He was brilliant from a defensive perspective for his team today, but I can't quite understand what he's doing in this situation. He's the wrong side of the furthest player, and he gets caught massively here. But the delivery comes in, it's perfect, the header, and then Trossard really improvises great.
This is a great view, Jamie, of showing this scrap here.
Yeah,
though.
And the other one I want to highlight is here, number 15, Cuenca. Because what Cuenca does, because he feels that he can win this ball as it comes in, but because Gabriel gets the header, keep your eye on Jimenez as well. I'm not sure you do 2 or 3 things at once here, but Jimenez gets caught the wrong side of Trossard. Poor piece of play, but Cuenca if he stays where he is there, he heads this away, but he doesn't. He gets enticed into trying to win it. Watch him, number 15. He makes a little run, right at the last second. Look, gets underneath it, and then Trossard at the back post. Jimenez is too late, but delivery is absolutely spot on. You watch Cuenca here. There he is. Look at him. He wants to head it, but he misses it, and then really clever finish. Do not underestimate how good that finish is.